In this momentum lab, you're going to be doing a lab where you'll have two carts on a track. One cart is going to be standing still, and the two carts have to be different colors. So right now we've got one cart standing still. If I play this video, you're going to see another cart coming in at it, and it hits it, and they collide, and they separate. So it is an inelastic collision. It's just that the initial momentum of one of the cars is 0. You're going to be tracking the momentum of both cars all the way through the video. So we'll see what happens as we go on. So you'll need a track. It'll be a Pasco track. It's that middle track. You'll need a pair of carts, 2 different colors on the carts. You'll need a meter stick, masses for the carts. So you need 2 or 3 masses that you're going to put on the carts, and a computer, 1 per group. And you'll also, of course, need a video camera and a computer link. When you put the track down, you're going to put it on the ground, and you want to verify that it is level. If it's not level, shore it up with papers or the leveling feet that are on the track. Decide which cart is A and note the color on your procedure. So you'll be given a typed procedure to handle. Cart A is the cart that will be given the initial velocity. Decide which cart is B and note the color of that on your procedure. Cart B will initially be at rest. So decide which cart is going to have the masses and how much mass to place on it. I strongly recommend that you put the masses on cart A. Do some initial trial runs with masses in various configurations and decide which setup will give you the best final speed. While doing the trial runs, experiment with the initial push to see which velocity looks best. And be sure to record which car has the masses and how much mass you have on it. And remember to put the masses in kilograms. Okay, we're going to import the video. Of course, you remember that you're going to have to change the frame rate, and you're going to change it to 120 frames per second. And of course, don't forget that when you're videotaping, you need to keep the camera totally still. That's really important. So this is being really, really still because it's not moving at all. And if you notice, the video is actually moving in Tracker. There's a lot of downtime. So we really don't want to have to track all of this when the car is not doing anything. So this is going to be cut out. When the cart finally gets into the video, that's when we want to actually create the start frame. So we're going to go down there and move that little pointer over to right there when both cars are in the video. And you can manipulate a little bit so it's right where you want it at. Okay. And you also then want to continue the video until both cars are moving and have separated. You're going to end the video after the cars have hit and they have been separated. Don't wait too long after they separate because while you want to get some good data, you don't want them to go off the screen. And then just to check, I'm going to go ahead and run through the video from the start to stop and make sure it looks pretty good. About the same amount of time before they hit on the screen as you did after they hit on the screen. So that looked really good. I'm going to go ahead and zoom it to fit so I can see clearly, and I'm going to pick what points I want to track. Notice you put little dots on the carts. Those dots are designed for you to track the dots. It makes it much, much easier. So we've got that yellow dot paper, and the green one doesn't have a dot on it. We're going to add it so that all of your cars do indeed have dots. You're going to create a new point mass like you've always done, and there is a spot on the green car. We're pointing to it right now. It's right there. It's not as easy to see. We're going to track that point. It could be another point that you could track. I think I chose a different point, and I'm just tracking it. You're tracking it from the beginning until the very end of the video. So you're going to track the green car all the way from the beginning of the video to the end of the video. Now this is really important. After you get done tracking the first car, you're going to go ahead and reset the video to the very beginning, and you're going to create another point mass. So you've got a second point mass now, mass B. And now you're going to track the car that was initially still, and you're going to track it for the entire video, including the time when it was still. So it's very easy to track at the very beginning. Okay, so we're going to track that second car from the beginning to the end. So you have 2 point masses that you have to create, and you're tracking both of them for the entire video. If you look real close at the video, as I'm tracking the blue car, you can see the numbers showing up for the green car's previous tracking. So again, you're tracking both cars for the entire video. You have to create a new point mass for the blue car, the second car, from the first. So now I'm just going to replay the video, and we're going to see that we've got tracks for both cars for the entire time, which is exactly what we need, Mass A and Mass B. Now you're going to go and do the other things that you needed to do. You're going to set your origin. The origin gets set at the first car's starting point, at the first car's first track. We're going to change this so that it's going in the positive direction, so I'm reorienting it. You might not have to do that. Hopefully you've got your car going from left to right. And then we're going to create, we're going to do the calibration stick. And we're going to use that meter stick that's in the picture and use that to calibrate. So I'm going to add that calibration stick. I'm going to resize it, and I'm going to put the numbers on, all stuff that you've done before. Just in case you've forgotten, I'm showing you me resizing the calibration stick and entering all the data for it. Okay, so I've got my calibration stick in, I've got my axes in. I can select either Mass A or Mass B and look at the data for them. I'm going to go to Mass A, and I'm going to select its time and its X position data, not the Y, but its X position data, and I'm going to copy it as formatted and transfer it over to graphical analysis. As soon as I get it copied in there, I'm going to go ahead and put in what my columns are so I don't forget. So I'm going to click on the first column. First column is time. I'm going to put in time, put in the short name, put in the units, hit done. Then go for my second column. That's going to be the position of the first car, car A. Its short name is going to be D-A. And of course, the units are going to be in meters. Hit done. Now I'm going to go back to Tracker, select Mass B, and I'm going to collect just Mass B's X position. I'm not going to collect the time again, just the X position. I'm going to copy it as formatted and put it over into graphical analysis. But to do that, I need a new manual column. So I'm going to get a new manual column. I'm going to name it position. It's going to be the car B. So I'm going to put B. Short name is going to be distance B. And the units, of course, are meters. And once I get done entering the column, I'm going to go ahead and copy all that data in there, or paste it. And then after I get it pasted, I'm going to delete those first two cells so that they're not messing me up. So I'm going to take those two, Mass A, Mass B, its time, and X position. I'm going to delete those cells. And then I'm going to hit the big A for auto scale. But I want to have both. So I'm going to have all the above. I'm going to click on both of the data. So I'm going to get both of them up there. Now it gets a little tricky. We're going to highlight the area before the cars hit. So you have to kind of look and say, well, you know, car B was sitting still. So this is before car B starts moving. And you want to highlight both, just car A. So I'm double graphing that. I'm going to get a linear fit for car A before it hits car B. So I just want data set position car A. Okay, I'm doing a linear fit for that. And I'm going to move that box so it's out of the way. Now I'm going to do the same thing for the end. So now I just want to look at car A, and I've got to have all of that double gray highlighted for all of car A. And I want to do a linear fit, again, just for car A. And I've got a linear fit of car A after it hit car B. And I'm going to do the same thing for car B. So I'm going to select the beginning of car B's data. Well, actually, I'm doing the end of car B's data after it got hit. So after it got hit, I'm going to do a linear fit just for data points B. I'm not going to do it for before because I'm assuming it's sitting still. So I don't really need another linear fit for when it was standing still. Now I'm going to go ahead and put a text box in on my graph saying the velocity of car A the first time is A1. So that's the slope of the position time graph. So my slope is 0.65 meters per second. I'm only going to use 2 sig figs. Velocity of car A1 after it hits the, so I'm going to call that VA2, VA2 or VA prime, and that's the slope again, and it's 0.27 meters per second. Okay, and then I want to find the velocity of B before the collision. I'm just going to say it's 0 because it was sitting still. And then the velocity of B after the collision, so VB2, and that's going to be the slope of the linear fit, so 0.37 meters per second. I'm kind of putting in a text box so I look at it right then and there. That text box tends to disappear. It's tricky getting it to show up again. So you're going to have to kind of make things bigger or smaller. And after you do that, you want to put a title on your graph. So be sure and title it. And of course, I'm going to save my lab using the criteria that we talked about. So that criteria I'll put on the lab handout that's going to you, and what you're going to do with that lab and the documents that you come up with. That'll be on the lab handout tomorrow too. Okay, so all of that stuff you should be pretty straightforward with. Good luck on the lab tomorrow. Thank you very much for your time.